welcome back everyone. My name's Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Shadowrun Dragonfall. Where we left off last time, we were on a train, it got stopped, something is going on outside, so we're gonna jump off. Looks like the whole station's lost power. We found a fuse. Looks like some squatters are living in this station. Tunnels collapsed, not getting out this way. We got an advanced medkit. And there's a fuse box. It's a fuse box. Nothing looks out of order. Let's add the fuse to the bathroom. You place the extra fuse into the socket next to the bathroom. Status light next to track remains red. I guess we need more things. We need one more fuse from somewhere. It looks like the console could extend the nearby bridge to cross the tracks, but with the power out, the entire thing is non-functional. Alright, fine. Actually, wait. Is there a door anywhere? No? Because swap these around. Wait, hold up. Did it say the one next to the track is still red? Wait, is it still in bathroom? Remove the extra fuse from bathroom. Put it in track. Track lights up green. Okay, good. That's what we wanted. I guess that's what we need for the bridge, probably. Extend to the bridge. Mechanical bridge smoothly slides out and spans the gap over the tracks. There's a door here. It's not worrisome at all. What was the bathroom one for, then? There has to be more to it than that. But I can't swap them anymore, so it doesn't matter. I guess at this point. Let's go with the open door. See where we are. It's so dark in this maintenance area you can barely see your hand in front of your face. The door is stuck shut. Open it. Iger's shoulder checks the door and the crack of splintering plastic fills your ears. The door pops open. A high explosive grenade. It is super dark in here. I literally can't see anything. There's a reset breaker box. I'm gonna hit that, but I'm gonna save first, because I have a feeling it's gonna be bad news the moment I do. That's them, open fire! Of course, we are completely surrounded. Uncool ambush. We are going to adrenaline pump her. Not her. Her. And go teach this guy some manners, maybe. That's good. That's even better. Let's haste Eltimar. We actually get him to cover. Even full cover. Iger is going to be shotgunning, because I think her rifle skills are not going to be great here. Well, let's see, what do we got? Yeah, they're garbage here. Okay. We're going to hit Gloria if we shoot there, so we'll just shoot that guy. Oh, Dietrich, you need to heal yourself. Ow. Oh, Dietrich's going down. Nope, just AP. He's just sleepy now. I too have grenades, obviously they're not very good. Yeah. I think she can kill that one. He's got 3 hit points left. Which means he will not quite bleed out, which is very annoying. Another AP down, jeez. 1 hit point left on that guy. All she needed was... Jesus, Dietrich needs to get healed. Alright, he's fine. Everything's fine. That guy's dead. That guy just took a pot shot. He's fine. That guy should bleed out, so we're gonna move into here. Oh, you're alive. Alright. So we don't want a shotgun because we'll accidentally shoot our teammate. And we'll reload. Come on. I believe you, Glory. Nope. Okay, I don't believe in you. Didn't honestly really expect that to hit. Someone please finish this guy off. Glory, you got this. Yay! There's such terrible chances to hit with these guns. There we go. We're not out of combat though. That's worrisome. Got a PDA. Guessing there's gonna be more on the other side of this door. We'll leave Iger there, because she can snipe from here. We'll get our main character to open the door. Dietrich, on the other hand, needs to stay way back. You heal yourself for anything? No. Just stay back here and don't get shot. Maybe is going to be our goal this turn. Alright, what do we got? Around this corner. We're gonna haste. We need to buy better armor for all of our people. There's at least one dude. I'm gonna shoot him once. Just to wake him up. Or not. Because apparently I can't aim to save my life. Let's take a good shot at that guy. Good shot at that one. Double shot when they come in. And of course Dietrich is the one that gets shot by the mercenary captain. Can't hit him. Are we out of combat now? Nope. Alright, little adrenaline pump, and we'll see if there's anyone else in this room. One turn in. Take a pot shot at that guy. Oh shit, that was all of our movement. Okay, that's bad. We'll run her back next turn. She'll be fine. She's fine. Everything is fine. Run over here. I highly doubt that he's gonna be able to hit anything, but whatever. Come on in, everyone! Holy crap, he did hit someone. He's just standing in the doorway. That sounds suicidal. Really? Oh, okay, yes. I thought that she didn't have a line of sight. I was like, she's standing right in the door. And everyone's dead that needs to be dead. Moving on. I'm going to save, because just in case. Everything appears to be fine. I'm gonna go see if I can swap that fuse around. But nope. Alright, we're boarding back the train and we're out of here. Interesting little entrance to this particular... Oh, right, we need to move the bridge back up. Can't do that without the bridge. Seems like that's a bad design. What if someone pushes it down into the path of the train? Hold up. Is there anything else we missed? Right, we can't go back. That's fine. I don't think we missed anything. And back we go again. The rest of your trip is uneventful, but one thing is clear. Someone is hunting you. The ambush was no chance gang warfare, but an organized attempt on your life. If Green Winters was right, then whoever killed him is now after you. The PDA that you retrieved from your attackers may hold some answers. It's time to return to your safe house and consult Paul Amsel. Also, I know I have work to do this morning, but I'm really not feeling it. I'd be the worst wage slave ever. Come on, load. 8 karma, that might be enough to get our thing done. I might be able to get our intelligence maxed out. And it looks like we will. Perfect. Now we can start working on decking / guns, because our gun skill has fallen by the wayside now. We can get limbs upgrades for our quickness, and then we'll be fine. Let's go put a head implant in our brain. It's only 5 grand, all of our money basically. God, everything is so expensive. Hey Doc, I need you to brain me up. It's everywhere. We want this one. There we go. Now if we look at our character sheet, we have... Well, I guess we have... doesn't count as part of your skill, but we have 9 intelligence. Which is good. Exactly what we need. It's right here, 9 intelligence. We cannot focus on intelligence for a little while now, because we have enough to get up to 7 decking and 7 ESP, which is way more than enough. We need to get some gun skill going. We'll sort of be mixing the two up a little bit more. We need any new guns? No. Now our decking skills should be a little bit better. Blitz, what do you have to say? One look at Blitz's face is enough to tell you that something is gnawing at him. He stands beside his table, playing with a coffee spoon. Boy, Eltimar, what you need? What's going on? Well, Chief, I hate to admit it, but I might be in a bit of trouble here. Go on. There's an awkward pause, then Blitz plows on ahead. You know those creditors I told you about? The ones who loaned me all that money? Yep. Yeah, well, it turns out some of them are a little less forgiving than I thought they were. Going. One in particular seems to have taken things kind of personally. How personally are we talking? I got a package in the mail. It had someone's thumbs in it. Thumbs? Yeah, thumbs. They came in a cigar box packed in salt. I have no idea who they belong to. I'm pretty sure they meant to convey some sort of message. That's a pretty safe bet. I don't lose my thumbs, Chief. I like my thumbs. I think I need to pay this guy back. Luckily, I've got a plan. I know how to get myself out of hot water with Meat Grinder. His name's Meat Grinder. I've got it all spec'd out. Let me get this straight. You took a loan from someone named Meat Grinder? Hey, Chief, come on. I feel bad enough about this already. There's no need to rub it in. Anyways, like I was saying, I can make it all right again, but I need your help to do it. Tell me. There's this group out in Drogenkip. They call themselves the Landenberg Ring. They're a financial crime organization. There's a lot of bad blood between them and Meat Grinder's operation. Anyway, back when I was running with the Herzen, I laid out the groundwork for a hit on the Landberg Ring. I was never able to make good on it though. For some reason, none of the other gangers ever volunteered to help out. With your help, I could steal enough money from them to cover my debt and get myself back in Meat Grinder's good graces in the process. What do you think? Quick run, you and me? With me and the Matrix and you and my man on the ground? We can hit them, satisfy my debt, and laugh about it on our way back home. Sound like a plan? Might be interested, depending on my cut of the profits. Chief, there won't be any profits, at least not for us. The money that we suck out of the place has to go to Grinder, all of it. Well, then you can find yourself another partner. Nothing personal, but I don't stick my neck out unless I'm getting paid. Oh, come on, Chief. As if I've never been stuck my neck out for you. Hey, that's all I've been doing since I got here. This is the thanks I get? Alright, calm down. If this Meat Grinder off your back, I'll help you with it. Alright, thanks, Chief. Yeah, you're right, I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got some last-minute stuff to take care of before we get started. No sweat, Blitz. Meet you, the Umon? No, not as such, Chief. I won't be going physically to Drogenkip. I've seen enough of that place for a lifetime. I'll be jacking in from a terminal I set up here in the Cruise Bazaar. Well, great. I guess I'll have to send you a call when I get there. Sounds good, Chief. Thanks again. Ugh, you're the worst, Blitz. I hate you. Oh, also our characters are leveled up. We get a new gun for... Oh, man. I mean, Huntress is nice, but Sharpshooter, that's a great gun. Custom sniper rifle, it is. Gotta do it. Augmenting spell Electrocore. We can make it bigger. Or we can make it cast easier. Casting easier sounds good to me. Or cyber pump can, or adrenal pump can last one additional round. Can't talk today. Or it can revive people. No, I'm gonna go with the adrenal pump lasting longer. Although a permanent revive is kinda nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the res, I think. Alright, and we can get a better cyber deck or hydraulic jack. It's gonna be the cyber deck. There we go. Everyone is upgraded. Amsel's here. But Dietrich probably wants us to do something too. Dietrich greets you with a familiar wry smile. Eltimar, what's new? Curious, Dietrich, why'd you switch from fronting a band to running the shadows? Honestly, working the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fine and good when I was a kid, but it just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left that band behind and turned to the shadows. I don't know, I guess I figured that'd be the best way to find one. Considering the current events, I'd say you're not wrong about that. Yeah, I guess not. Feels kinda daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kinda satisfying having a white whale to chase. How long have you been looking for a real enemy? He shrugs. Not too long, ever since I took down the last one. The last one? Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the Creator or the Moon Maiden, but the Dragon Slayer ain't that kinda idol. I'm not drinking. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting, and if I'm not doing either of those things, I'm looking for a bigger, better fight to get in next time. Dietrich produces a flask from his jacket and raises it in salute. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. Dietrich, when does this pattern end? Well, boss, the way I figure it, it'll end when I pick a fight that I can't win. He smiles sadly. Might be this one, maybe the next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. That's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it, and who am I to refuse him? Abruptly he turns away. That's enough talk for today, boss. Besides, you've got other things to do, I'm sure. Thanks, Dietrich. Also, you are annoying, sort of. Eltimar, you trust me, Iger? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I do. You earned that much. Haven't always agreed with your decisions, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. What happened to your team? This again, why do you even care? Because it's pretty clear that if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing his team. She slowly nods. Alright, I'll tell you. I suppose you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie. The kid is some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper and he made it through KSK training, so he was technically qualified to join a team, but he was way too green to fit in with our outfit. Still, he wanted to be a hero, and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks, we're closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They've been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for the convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. The convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border to Germany. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who spent some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them for over for decades. But we weren't in a position to derail their operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. Sorry, there's a loud motorcycle going by. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Braun managed to take down the Banshee that they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battle tech feeds to the rest of us, and we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought they had a fix on us, we shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been firing at ghosts. When Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position, and after that all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my days. An explosion, a choke scream, then this long, drawn-out gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Eltimar. Suffice to say that my team was wiped out. Iger's face clouds again. You can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With visible effort, she clamps down on her emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself, had to drag myself across the Go to your Nice line, back into Germany. Almost died. So that's the story. My KSK career died with the rest of my team. Our mission was illegal after all, off the books. There's no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye. Her tone is impassive. Did that tell you everything you want to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied now? Yes, thank you, Iger. So tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woe? I figure you got one. When Monica died, you blamed me because I was new to the team. But I'm not Hoffman, Iger. Yeah, she nods, I know that. And you're right to a point. I might have judged you too harshly because of Hoffman, but everything else I said was justified. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision made for the wrong reasons. I stand by that assessment, but between then and now, I've been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Eltimar. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Thanks, Iger. Good talk. Until next time. Glory, what's up? Good to see you. Are you ready to tell me about that chrome you're sporting? Be patient, Eltimar. The explanation for that is coming. A look of unease flits across her face. I'm not sure you're gonna like it, though. How's things going, Glory? You know what? I'm happy, actually, for the first time in a long time. I have you to thank for that. You needed time, and I gave you time. Are you ready to talk about Fyrstel yet? Yeah. Glory looks troubled, more so than you've ever seen her before. Whatever memory she's dredged up must be exceedingly painful. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been looking forward to this, but yeah, it's time. Eltimar, look, I'm going to tell you some things about myself that might change your opinion of me. It's entirely possible that you're going to hate me based on what's coming up next. I've accepted that, and if that's what happens, I sincerely believe that I deserve it. She looks you in the eye, her expression grim. So tell me, are you sure you want to keep pushing forward with this? This is important, Glory. After everything we've been through, I think we both know that. Whatever you have to tell me, I'm ready to listen. Thanks, Eltimar. Thanks for being a friend. So we left off last time. I had just moved from the streets of Tübingen to the warm, inviting confines of Fyrstel. Marta and I were happy there for a little while, and Harrow embraced me as a long-lost daughter. I should probably take a moment to talk more about Harrow. He's going to be an important figure in this story. I don't know what his age was. He seemed old enough to be paternal, but young enough to hang out with the kids, or on something like a pure level. Best guess, I'd say he was in his mid-20s. He was handsome and well-built, with a neatly trimmed beard and a thick brown hair. There's something else about him, something uncanny. Harrow had this charisma, this raw, magnetic attraction that made people latch onto him. I saw it over and over. All it took was a few words and a pat on the shoulder, and Harrow would have a new convert. The other kids at the farm followed him around like lost puppies. As much as I loved Marta, and as much as I thought she loved me, we forgot all about one another when Harrow was around. All we wanted was to be close to him, to be part of his inner circle, and soon enough we were. For a girl of 17, it was all terribly exciting. Harrow had these rules of living that he would teach us, rules about self-determination and the importance of disobedience. He claimed to have taught classes at the University of Berlin, which he painted as a mix between earthly paradise and an anarchist playground. He told us how Fyrstel would be the focal point of our new movement for the children of the fatherland. He told us that we were special. We ate it up, of course, we were kids. For those of us in the inner sanctum, Harrow would share even more. He had power, the likes of which I had never seen. Not my father's drunken fists or my own childish experiments, but genuine, incredible power. He said it came from the Horned God, an ancient deity that he venerated. He knew about my latent abilities right away, and he offered to teach me. Naturally, I accepted. I've heard of the Horned God. His followers have a poor reputation, especially among women. Any bad reputation that they might have gained is well-deserved, but there was more to it than that. You'll see. Hang with me, Eltimar. Rough waters ahead. So I became Harrow's apprentice. He taught me to channel magic and summon spirits. He taught me rituals and pagan traditions, Machiavellian philosophy, and Nietzschean ethics. Above all, he taught me how to connect with his Horned God, and through it I learned power and arrogance, and it was all downhill from there. For the next few years, I lived at Fyrstel as Harrow's enforcer and right-hand girl, but I was also his sometimes wife and concubine. But that was a distinction that I shared with all the girls in the commune, including my beloved Marta. I came to learn she'd been his long before she met me, but by that point I didn't care. I'd embraced the rules of living. I was Harrow's creature through and through. I didn't ask questions, and I walked the path that was in front of me. Other fun facts about those years: I learned cruelty, I had power now, and then my new idol encouraged me to use it. Harrow did the same. Any children who didn't pull their weight were subjected to my tender mercies. And I was anything but tender. I took what I wanted rather than asking for it. I liked it. It was fun. I also came to learn that Harrow's Horned God was not the Eichen first worshipped by the throwback cults across Germany. He was certainly a god with horns, but it came from an altogether different tradition. Care to hazard a guess? The devil? In the magically active community, we refer to it as the adversary, but yeah, same being more or less. So my idol, the ancient deity that was feeding me my power, was the antithesis of everything that is right and good, and you know what? Didn't care. In our time together, Harrow and I committed more atrocities than I could count. At this point, I was onto all of his tricks, and I knew that Fierstale was nothing more than a honey trap, carefully designed to lure local children into my master's clutches. I knew that the kids who seemed resistant to Harrow's brainwashing techniques wound up fertilizing the garden. I knew that Harrow's entire manifesto was bullshit. And I knew that through it all, Harrow and the adversary were laughing, because I was laughing right there beside them. I don't want to pin the blame for my decisions on anyone but me. That said, I would like to posit that my father's connection to the Cruise Ridders may have helped play into my willingness to serve the adversary. In my warped, indoctrinated little brain, I equated the church with evil, so the opposite of that I figured had to be, well, if not good, then at least not totally bad. But I was kidding myself, of course. My new deity was the very definition of bad. Serving it made me bad. End of story. I can't excuse the choices you made, but I can understand why you made them. That's big of you, Eltimar. I genuinely mean that. It takes a moment to seal herself and continues on. One day, Harrow invited me on a field trip to Stuttgart. Over the years, I was at Fierstale. The commune had easily doubled in size. It was thriving, all thanks to the efforts of Marta and the girls like her. Harrow would send the girls out to neighboring cities to lure in the street kids that nobody would miss. He targeted children because they were easy to indoctrinate, because nothing makes the adversary happier than the corruption of the innocent. As we drove out to pick up the new recruits, we were already planning ahead. It was a foregone conclusion that I would pay my father a visit. The irony of a group of cruise ridders getting immolated by a genuine servant of the actual devil tickled me to no end. So when Harrow stopped to fill up on diesel, I hopped out of the van and headed out on foot to my parents' place. Harrow wasn't overly concerned about my absence. I had long since reached the point where I could assert my autonomy, and he knew that I'd be back. I wound up at my folks' house sometime around noon. I could hear the adversary whispering in my ear, telling me what to do. I'd long since learned to listen to its voice. It always rewarded me with extra power when I did its bidding, so it told me to knock, and I did. As the door opened, I could feel a torrent of flames welling up in the astral plane all around me. It told me to channel them into the doorway to my father, so I did, but of course, the person who opened the door wasn't my father, it was my mother. As I watched her flesh blacken and melt, I heard her scream and I broke into hysterics. I heard the adversary laugh, and at that moment I realized that it was laughing at me. I'm so sorry, Glory. Glory nods, a grim expression on her delicate face. Thanks, we're almost to the end now. Thanks for sticking with me. It was like a lever had been pulled. All at once the bubble popped. I wasn't a powerful servant of the adversary. I was not Harrow's #1 girl. I was a ridiculous little fool who'd willingly tied her soul to the worst thing in existence. I mean, straight up, our devil worshipper, so that's not at least the best thing to do. Realizing all of this was one thing, actually fixing it was something else entirely. I knew that I had to get away from Harrow. That was the first thing to do, so I bit my lip and did my best to ignore the happy babble of the new recruits on the trip back to Fierstale, and I managed to get through the ride without screaming. Once we were back at the commune, I broke into Harrow's safe, stole all the commune's resources, and ran. I don't know when Harrow realized what I'd done, or whether he even cared. All I know is that nobody came after me, so I kept running and running until I got to Berlin. Getting past the wall was fairly simple. You know how easy it is to obtain falsified papers. The biggest obstacle itself that I faced during my flight was the adversary. I could run from Harrow, but how do you run from something that's tied to your soul? I have a feeling that I know. The haunted look in Glory's eyes is heartbreaking. She gives you another curt, grim nod. I walked into the office of the first street doc I could find, pointed at all the biggest, bulkiest pieces of cyberware that he had on display, and told him to put them on me. He tried to upsell me on better merchandise, arguing that what I was asking for was old and inefficient, better suited to be installed in a museum than in a body. He told me that I'd be shredding my essence and that once it was gone I'd never be able to get it back. I stuck to my guns. After all, shredding my essence was the whole point. Glory looks up at you. Her eyes are sunken and hollow, and the aura of loss about her is palpable. She looks like a woman who's been through hell. That's all for now, Eltimar. You heard the tale. You know why I am the way I am. You know the things I've done and how much I have to atone for. If you still want my company, fine. If I've lost your friendship, I understand that too. But for now, I need to be alone. We're still friends, Glory, I promise. You did bads, but so have I, so it's all forgiven. Amstel calls over his shoulder at the sound of your approach. His eyes are glued to his computer's display. Eltimar, Frau Mueller should be on her way, but before you go to the meeting site, I have news. He glances at you and his words trail off. Upon seeing the expression on your face, Amstel's voice becomes grave. Tell me what happened. I had some trouble in the U-Bahn. Somebody set up an ambush. Amstel pauses, then gives a curt nod. Truth be told, I've been expecting something like that might happen. I'm just glad that you made it out alive. Here's the encrypted PDA. Yeah, I should be able to extract some information from this. Give me a moment. He plugs the PDA into his computer and goes to work. A few minutes later, he lets out a grunt of dismay. Well, tomorrow I was able to recover a file, but unfortunately that's all I'll ever be able to pull off this thing. All anyone will, truth be told. He must have been running some kind of counter-intrusion software. The instant that I gained access to bricked itself. Amsel disconnects the useless PDA and drops it to the ground. It clatters to rest on the metal floor. What'd you manage to pull off? The comm file. The audio's all there, but it looks like we only got video from one side of the conversation. Let's see what we have. A nightmarishly familiar face appears on the screen. Bachmeyer. The voice bleats out from Amsel's speakers, filling the room. Audrin here, what's your status? Bachmeyer's image is garbled, but his voice sounds young and eager. Target acquired, sir. You were right. We spotted him on the U-Bahn, just like you said, probably on his way to a job. As per your instructions, we're gonna try to take him out on his way back. He'll be more vulnerable that way. Hopefully injured and low on ammo too, but only time will tell. Good man, proceed as instructed. Will do. Kosman is rigging up an ambush spot now. We'll try to make it back. Or try to make it quick. The York with the nightmare face nods. Send me a call when the job's done. Audrin out. The image on the computer screen dies. Amsel turns to face you. Well, our scarred friend makes an appearance. Eltimar, I suspect that Green Winter's predictions are coming true. I believe that fierce wind is behind this. Under Amsel's patient exterior, you can feel the worry that's eating him. Be on your guard, you and the rest of your team. You made it through this attack relatively unscathed, but next time you might not be so lucky. At least now we have a name to put to the face, Audrin. That's not all we have. As I was saying when you first walked in, I've been productive as well. I was able to uncover some new evidence in your absence, and coincidentally enough, that evidence pertains to our scarred friend. You may recall that I said I'd dig into Audrin's skin grafts. Well, I did, and the search has finally borne fruit. One of my contacts outside of Berlin handles the paperwork for a private hospital, or 4 private hospitals all across Germany. It's a dull, boring job, but it does have its perks. As it turns out, our scarred friend's skin grafts were performed at a legitimate hospital after all. What do they say? That sounds like good news. Well, they're rather light on identifying information. Our friend's name is listed as Max Musterman, the local equivalent of John Doe, but they do cover his injuries in great detail. Audrin's injuries were extensive. He had 2 broken ribs, a shattered pelvis, and he had sustained 3rd-degree burns over 60% of his body. Most damning of all, he was suffering from acute radiation poisoning. His body had absorbed some over 5,000 millisieverts of ionizing radiation, a lethal dose without treatment. The information dries up at this point. We know that he was treated and discharged, but what happened afterwards remains a mystery. He pauses for a moment, studying your reaction. Your thoughts? Hold nothing back. I'd like to hear everything that comes to mind. Well, those burns sound like dragon fire, but if Firewing burned Audrin, why would he be working for her now? I don't think that Audrin is working for the Firewing. I believe that he's serving her. On Winter's 2nd DVD, he mentions that there is a cult within the Sox that worships the Firewing, the Disciples of the Cleansing Fire. I believe that Audrin belongs to this cult. That's bad news. There's nothing more dangerous than a zealot. My thoughts exactly. A hireling can sometimes be bribed or reasoned with. A pawn can be liberated, but if Firewing soldiers look upon her as a goddess figure, nothing short of killing her will deter them, and even that might stop them. So it's possible that Audrin is a dragon cultist. That seems to fit with much of the other information that we've uncovered. Did any other red flags jump out at you? Audrin might have spent some time in the Sox, the radiation poisoning, of course. Agreed, 5,000 millisieverts is a lot of exposure. Short of basking in the glow of an unshielded reactor, I don't know how he'd absorbed that much ionizing radiation without spending time in the Sox. Alright, so Adrian was heavily irradiated and most likely from time spent in the Sox. What does this tell you? The hospital couldn't ID Audrin. Either somebody covered his tracks for him, or he was living completely off the grid. Indeed, if Audrin were a denizen of the Sox, a glowpunk, his lack of identifying information would make sense. It's a working theory at any rate. So to sum up, Audrin has probably spent time in the Sox. It's possible he lived there as a member of Fierschwing's dragon cult, and he's after us. In my mind, all of this reinforces one fact. We need to find Valclair, and we need to do it fast. Agreed. Good. And that's all the more reason to gather Alice's fee as quick as possible. There's a buzzing sound from Paul's wrist. He lifts his hand to look at his PDA, and as luck would have it, Frau Mueller has arrived. Best of luck at the meeting, Eltimar. Remember, this is urgent. We need that money. I'm on it. Chop, chop. Alright, we're going to end the video here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.